like I need to just kind of like let this do its thing and then tell you guys after, because I feel like I can't really talk to you like this. And here it is, another educational beauty video, and this time it's 5 tips on how to get clearer skin, and it's great for acne prone skin. Now, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. And I'm over on Instagram, so please do come say hi there too. Now let's jump straight into the video. Let's be honest, we all want clear skin, and some of us unfortunately are dealing with acne, some of us are dealing with other skin issues. I really wanted to put together my top 5 tips on getting clearer skin, regardless of whether you have kind of pigmentation or you feel that your skin is a bit congested, or maybe you genuinely are suffering from acne. I really wanted to give you my best tips that have worked for me, and I hope it kind of works for you. So we're going to go through each tip one by one. We're going to start with tip number 1. This first one is LED light therapy. Honestly, this has completely changed the game when it comes to my skin. It's something that I do I try and do it on a daily basis. I'm going to be honest, you get the best results by doing it on a daily basis, but you can kind of like switch it up and just do it like maybe once a week. But for best results, honestly, once a day for 10 minutes, that's it. Just 10 minutes works wonders for your skin. Light therapy is basically, it's where you have light wavelengths that kind of are traveling from tiny light bulbs on the mask that you use deep into your skin. It's painless, it's non-invasive, and it can help with so many other things other than just kind of like clearing up your skin and clearing acne. So it really helps with kind of like lifting, tightening, it's anti-aging, it's great to even the skin tones. If you feel like you have a bit of patchiness, I personally suffer from a little bit of pigmentation. This has really helped to kind of like just clear my skin a bit better. Hopefully you guys can see I don't have anything on my skin right now. I really wanted to show you the mask that I am currently using, which I absolutely love, which is the Current Body LED mask. So this mask, it harnesses the perfect measurement to rejuvenate the skin. There's 2 wavelengths, like they work below the skin surface, and it stimulates the natural rejuvenation process, and it creates like a complexion which is glowing, and it generally looks quite healthy. The 2 wavelengths that this mask uses is red light and near infrared. Now red light helps to basically boost collagen production in the skin. It helps to calm the skin, it helps with redness, and it also helps to even out the skin tone. So really good for that pigmentation and just general like unevenness of the skin. Now the near infrared helps to boost circulation, because basically what it does is it actually penetrates even deeper into the skin, and it also helps to improve blood flow and also boost oxygen to the skin cells. Both of these 2 wavelengths work amazing hand in hand. So I like the fact that with this mask, it's not just an LED light, you know, it's not that standard one. It actually does genuinely help your skin, and you've got both of those wavelengths, like one working slightly higher in the layer of the skins, and then one penetrating even deeper into the skin layers. So I'm going to show you my mask. This is the mask, and it basically has loads of little kind of like bulbs. I'm going to try and give you a close-up image, edit it into this, but it has loads of like small bulbs all over on the inside of this. It stretches even more in case you have a slightly bigger head like me. And it also has a kind of little battery pack, I think this is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want to call this, but yeah, I would call it a battery pack. But basically what I do is there's another wire that I have which is plugged in at the moment, but it goes into here. It's a USB port. Is it a USB port? Yeah, I think so. That goes into wherever you plug it in. So I have like an extension cable, and it has like a USB port in there. So the wire kind of, I really overcomplicated that whole sentence, but it slots right in there, and then it charges this, and it has a little light here that comes up which is green. When it's flashing, it basically means that it's still charging. Once it's green continuously, then it's charged. This is attached to this stays here with it. Now I just keep it wrapped up because I hate wires all over the place. But basically we're going to put this on in a bit, but what I want to do is I want to put on a kind of like mask first. Now I would only recommend using this specific mask from Current Body, because I just always feel like if a product says, you know, you can use a mask with this, I would much rather use the mask that they've created to go with this. So this is the Current Body Hydrogel face mask. Now my face is completely clean, it's completely dry, so I'm going to put this gel mask over my face. Let's get this on. Like it's super smooth and super cooling. It like sticks really easily. I don't know if you guys have used many kind of like masks like this, but they kind of slide all over the place, and I don't know why this is so different, but it just stays in place. So, okay. Just gonna like, there you go. I'm just smoothing this over. So I put this on, there you can see that this is nicely smoothed over. Because once I put this on, I usually just go and sit down. Don't laugh at me, guys. I know you're laughing. I sit there, do what I gotta do while this is on. I'm gonna press this button. There you go, it's on. I can just about see you. Well, I can't really see you at all, but... And then it turns off itself in 10 minutes. I feel like I need to just kind of like let this do its thing and then tell you guys after, because I feel like I can't really talk to you like this. Because usually I just get on with my own little thing, like whatever I'm doing in front of the laptop or whatever. But, you know, right now I feel like I want to talk to you guys properly. So let's let this get to work. I'm just going to let it kind of do what it's got to do for 10 minutes. While this is working its magic on me, don't forget that the link for this product is in the description box below. I also have an amazing code for you guys, which is NinaCB. It gives you 20% off of current body. The link in the description will take you to the exact product. Make sure you click it, make sure you use the code so that you can get your special discount. I'm just sitting here literally shopping, and I just saw that there's a sale on at Sephora, so I've just literally put in so many Tarte Shape Tapes because there's a certain amount of off of Tarte products. So yeah, anyway, let's get back to it. Okay, there you go, it's turned off. So let's take this off. Okay, I'm just taking this gel off. Okay, so basically once you've taken it off, you can just clean the mask in, you know, you can clean it with a cloth. What I do is just get a wet cloth and just kind of clean over this because it's got some serum on there, which I'll do afterwards. But the masks come in like packs like this. It's very hydrating. I don't know if you can already notice it, but I know I definitely can. My skin feels and looks a lot brighter, and it generally like just looks healthier to me. Like, I know that I've only just put it on now, but I have been using it for a little while. So, you know, I've got some experience in it, so I know how it has made my skin feel over time. But this is something that I would highly recommend because I feel like it's something that kind of like eliminates the need to go to a salon. You know, you don't have to always go out and spend so much money on a salon. Like, I truly believe, I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a hermit. I love being at home. I love being able to do beauty treatments at home. For me, it's like great. I don't mind spending that money on something like this that I can use on a daily basis, because if I were to go in and actually get this same treatment done at a salon, it would be way more expensive and regular. Like, over time, as we get older, we don't produce as much collagen as what we did when we were younger, which is why, like, in babies you see super plump skin and it's just so nice and plump and amazing. And then as we get older, that plumpness kind of goes down because we don't have as much collagen production, so it just decreases as we get older and decreases more and more and more, which is why you end up with kind of like lines, fine lines, wrinkles, sagginess, you know, things like that. So this really helps to boost that collagen production, which I love, and I genuinely do see that in my own skin. Also, another thing I wanted to tell you guys, obviously you don't do something like this if you already have, like, say if you have a severe skin issue. I wouldn't recommend it if you have severe, like you have, it hurts to the touch, you know, or you have like a rash, or you have anything which is like quite excessively wrong in terms of the condition of your skin. I wouldn't use this. Always consult your doctor first, your dermatologist first. Another little quick thing I wanted to tell you is that obviously, like I said, you can use the mask that you can get with this, like the gel mask that you can get with the LED mask. You can use other kind of skincare products if you want. Just make sure there's no SPF in it, because that can actually block the like light penetration. So just make sure there's no SPF in it. And yeah, hydrating. So yeah, it also, by the way, comes with some goggles in case you feel like the light is a little bit too bright for you. Like, you can just put these on. I haven't actually used these yet because I actually quite like, I quite like getting things done. But I do like the fact that I've got this option. So you can put these goggles on if you just don't like bright light. But honestly, I don't feel that it's an issue. Like, it doesn't feel bright. You can just carry on as normal, you know? Yeah, it's great for, and it's like anti-aging. It's something that I personally have seen that my face seems a bit kind of more like firmer, more tighter. So for me, it's really nice to be able to use something that I feel that genuinely does make my skin like look better and feel better. And plus, there are some celebs that use this as well, by the way. I didn't know when I first started using it, but then I found out afterwards because I was reading up a bit more on it once I started seeing that it does work, but in 4 weeks you see amazing results. I think people like Renee Zellweger have used it. There's been a couple of other celebrities that have used it before going on the red carpet. So it really does give you that really nice glow. And I can see it in the mirror right now, and I really do hope you guys can see it. Now we are going to move on to the next tip, tip number 2. Now, this tip is about using your face wash morning and evening. I know that some of these tips might seem really basic to you, but honestly, I cannot begin to tell you how much of a massive difference they made to the way that my skin looks, especially when I was trying to kind of recover from acne and the congestion. And you know, like when I say congestion, I mean the spots that you get on underneath the skin. So it's like tiny bumps. That was like all of these in combination work really, really well for my skin. But you know, washing your face in the morning and the evening, it seems like a pretty common sense thing, but I realized over time from speaking to people and hearing things online that not a lot of people do that. You know, I've heard a lot of people say that they, one, do the worst thing ever, which is sleep in their makeup, which is really, really bad. I would never do that. 2, like not really wash their face with a face wash in the evening, and you've had that entire day's dirt and grime all over your face. You need to get rid of it. The way that I see it, and once you start doing it, it becomes a ritual, like it becomes a habit. It's the same with anything. You do it for long enough, it just becomes a part of your kind of lifestyle. Use a face wash. Use a face wash in the morning and also use it in the evening. Just genuinely start with these steps, and honestly, it will make such a difference to your skin. So if you do all of this in combination, I can guarantee you are going to have better skin. Use the correct face wash though. You've got to do it in the right way as well. So make sure it is a face wash that is suited to your skin type. If you feel that you have very oily skin, then use something which is kind of like tackling that oiliness and like really helping to draw out the impurities as well. If you feel that you have very dry skin, then obviously use something which is hydrating for your skin too. My personal favorite is what I actually use is the Kiehl's Blue Herbal face wash, because it has salicylic acid in there. So that as a daily wash, that helps keep my acne at bay. Like, you know, because even though my skin looks clear now, I still do have those times where it just breaks out, and if I don't keep using that, I sometimes can see it creeping back up. So it's one of those things where I feel like I've got control over it now, but if I let go, it can spiral out of control. So I know what I need to do to keep my skin issues at bay. Wash your face in the morning, because you've got whatever overnight kind of like rubbish is going on. You can get rid of that build up, that grime, that dirt. You can get rid of that in the morning, and then you go through your entire day and you make sure you wash your face in the evening too. So that is tip number 2. Now let's move on to tip number 3. Exfoliate regularly. So make sure you do use a nice scrub. Now, I personally love using the Wind exfoliator. It's one of my favorites because it's not too much of a harsh scrub. So when you think of an exfoliator, you kind of like traditionally think of, you know, like the tiny beads, and it's quite harsh on the skin. Don't think to yourself that the harsher it feels, the better it is, because it really is not. You really do still need to be gentle to your skin, even though you're exfoliating it. So make sure that exfoliator is a gentle exfoliator. I really love the Wind exfoliator because the beads kind of like dissolve, and they're so tiny, and it literally leaves your skin feeling like butter after. And usually when you use a scrub, you traditionally would feel like your skin feels quite dry, but this makes your skin feel like super, super buttery. But anyway, what I was saying was make sure you use it on a regular basis. So once a week is fine. You can even up it to twice a week if you really feel that you need to, because what an exfoliator does is it helps to get rid of any kind of dead skin and kind of like gives you a clean canvas ready for the rest of your skincare. I would say look at it like this, like, and plus this is the order, guys. Like, don't just exfoliate and that's it. You've got to wash your face first and then you exfoliate. So use your face wash and then you exfoliate after you've washed your face, because your face wash has got rid of everything, all the dirt and the grime off of your face. Then you go in with the exfoliator, because if you use an exfoliator before you've even washed your face, what you're doing is basically getting rid of the buildup, but then you're not getting rid of the dead skin, or it could be possible you're not getting rid of the dead skin. So you're not really letting that exfoliator do its job fully. So what I would would recommend is use your face wash and then use your exfoliator, because your face wash, like I said, gets rid of all the rubbish, and then your exfoliator can really get to work on what it's meant to be doing, which is getting rid of dead skin cells. Also, by using your face wash first, you're letting the exfoliator kind of really focus on getting that stubborn dirt, pulling it right out of your pores. So just think about it that way. You're really kind of like setting the tone for that exfoliator to really kind of get to work and get deep into those pores to suck out all of that nasty kind of like gunk or whatever stuck into your pores, which then is going to lead to spots and acne. Now, do you exfoliate in the morning or the evening? I think that's completely up to you. I personally like exfoliating at night, especially when I've used kind of makeup during the day. So for example, I wouldn't really want to exfoliate in the morning knowing that I'm gonna probably put makeup on and be out all day and then kind of like come back and I've already exfoliated in the morning, so I don't really want to do it again in the evening. So I would do it in the evening because I've really got out whatever dirt there has been, like the build up throughout the day. Is up to you if you prefer to do it in the morning because maybe you've got a special event, and you can still do it then, because at the end of the day you can exfoliate twice a week if you really want to, if you're using a gentle exfoliator such as the wind one that I mentioned. Now also, when you do use an exfoliator, please don't over scrub. And again, I know I keep saying it, but it really does come down to like ensuring that you do opt for a gentle exfoliator as well, because I can probably get away with a bit more of a harsh exfoliator because I've got quite thick skin. That doesn't mean everyone does though. So you might have quite delicate skin, quite thin skin, so you're much better off using a gentle exfoliator. Even though I have thick skin, I prefer using the wind exfoliator because I feel like it genuinely does hydrate my skin as well at the same time. So it doesn't strip all the oils, it doesn't strip all of that moisture from my skin. It kind of like hydrates it at the same time, but also does get rid of that kind of the block, empty, like cleans out my pores, gets rid of any dirt and like stubborn grit and grime, whatever is like kind of stuck into my pores. You do want to make sure you are very gentle on your skin. Like, don't overly kind of scrub, just do it very gently. You're using a scrub at the end of the day. There are beads there which are naturally going to be kind of scrubbing over your face. Do it gently. Don't go too close to the eye area. The skin around your eye is very thin. You don't want to aggravate that area. Now, make sure you do it on the areas that you need it. If you don't feel that you need to do it all over, then don't. So hopefully that helps. That's really going to help to clean your skin. Now, moving on to the next tip, which is tip number 4. This is a really important one. I actually cannot begin to tell you how much this has changed my skin. A clean pillowcase. I'm not saying that I used to sleep with a dirty pillowcase, but I used to sleep with a cotton pillowcase. I never used to really think about the fact that, okay, like you don't wash your pillowcase every single day. Let's be real, right? Whatever's on your face, whatever's on your hair is transferring onto that pillowcase. So number one, I changed over to a silk pillowcase. That really did help me. It's something that is much kinder to my skin. It's not so rough. My skin has genuinely improved since using it for like every single one of these steps. But also, think about this. You get up in the morning, you do your hair. If like me, you maybe use some gel, you maybe use like your Olaplex, you maybe use some hairspray, or whatever you use in your hair. Then you go to sleep at night. You've washed your face, you've done everything else the right way, but what about your hair? Because your hair, you don't necessarily, not all of us wash our hair every day, right? So you sleep on your pillow, and then all of that hair stuff goes all over your pillow. That's fine. You get up, you wash your face, do your exfoliator, carry on with your day as normal, maybe put some more hair products in, maybe even wash your hair, right? Which means great, you're gonna go to bed, you've got clean hair, you get into bed, go to bed, but that pillow now has all of that hairspray and that gunk or whatever that product buildup is that you used on your hair yesterday. And maybe you've even used it today as well, which means you're adding to it. That stuff, it's not like, let's be honest, we move around when we're on our pillow. That stuff is not just touching our hair, it is gonna touch our face. So you imagine what that does. Would you really spray your face with hairspray? Would you really put Olaplex all over your face? Would you really actually let gel go anywhere, hair gel over your face? It's going to be bad for your skin. But the thing is, we don't think about the fact that when we go to sleep, that's what we're doing. We're basically letting all those products touch our skin, and that can actually make you break out, and that can build up its dirt, its bacteria on your face, which could cause breakouts, could make, sometimes when we feel that we're always kind of congested around this area, we don't think about the fact that it could be the dirt from our pillow as well. Anything your skin touches needs to be clean, including your pillowcase, because you spent how many hours on that pillowcase? Like 6 to 8 hours. If it's me, it's 8 hours. right? It's like 8 hours. That's a lot. You're just literally just like smothering hairspray all over it, or whatever it is you've put in your hair. What I do now is, let's be honest, it is difficult not to use those things, because especially with me, because I film. So if I'm filming for a few days in a row, like I can't wash my hair every day. I don't have the time to, nor do I want to, because I feel like it's just too harsh for my hair. I don't like to wash it too often, because I like to kind of keep that moisture in there. But at the same time, I'm using spray, I'm using kind of gel, I might be using some Olaplex. So obviously I am going to sleep with the same pillow every night. I wash it as often as I can. What I tend to do is I make sure that, okay, if I've slept on my pillow, I'm just very conscious of it. If I've slept on my pillow and I know that I've had hairspray in my hair, I'll sleep on my pillow. But then what I do is when I wake up the next morning, I flip my pillowcase. So I just flip the pillow round, and so the part that I slept on is at the top now, so that when I go to sleep tonight, it's the clean part, like it hasn't got any transfer. And then I do the same thing, but I flip it, and then I do the same thing and I rotate it. Just be more aware of those things, and if you start becoming more aware about it, then you're going to naturally be looking after your skin without even realizing. Think about that, because honestly, it's not just your hair, it's the buildup of skincare. So remember, at night you put on your skincare, then you get into bed, you touch your pillow. All that skincare is touching your pillow, it's going there, it's transferring onto your pillow. So then the next day you get up, and if you don't flip or rotate your pillow, basically what's happening is you've got a new fresh new kind of layer of skincare, and you're going in and you've got all the bacteria from that night, maybe even sweat, you know. I'm sorry to say it, but it is the truth. That's why it's really important to make sure that when you sleep every night, it's on the clean part of the pillow, and then keep rotating it, flipping it until you feel like, okay, I don't have a clean, like, you know, I need to wash it now. So maybe once a week or something like that. I really do hope that tip made sense to you, but let's move on to tip number 5. And lastly, we are going to be talking about eating clean. I am probably the best person to speak to you about this, because I feel like I'm real. I feel like I can genuinely tell you that I don't eat clean 24/7. I have times in my life where I may not be mentally feeling like I can eat clean, or that I want to eat clean. So I feel like I'm not the person who's going to sit here and praise myself for being a clean eater, but I equally know what is right and what is wrong. And I know majority of the time I try and eat clean. I feel like I can kind of like connect to you guys with this, because like I said, it's just being real. Like, let's be honest, we don't get to eat, we can't eat clean all the time with all these things around us, you know, having a social life and having friends, and you know, it's just impossible to just eat clean 24/7. Like it, and you know what? I don't really want to do that 24/7, because it's gonna be boring. It is boring to me, you know, doing that 24/7 and not having a day where I can just eat whatever I want. So I'm not gonna be unrealistic with you guys and say, stop it completely, you know, don't eat this, because you have to be realistic about it. Now, I will be honest about what my diet is. It doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. This is just what works for me. So please don't take this as if I am recommending this to any of you guys. It works for me. I personally like to intermittent fast. I think it's something that makes me feel great. I have mental clarity from it. I feel better. I feel like inflammation goes down in the body. Like, even though you read about this, it genuinely does feel like it too. To be completely honest with you, for the last 3 weeks, haven't eaten clean, and I haven't been intermittent fasting, and that's because I ended up getting a chest infection, throat infection. And when I got that, the reason I got that, I think, was because I was so exhausted from moving home, and it was just a lot going on. It was just very busy, and I think that's what kind of like led to that. I feel like stress can really cause these things as well. So I went on antibiotics, and obviously while I'm having antibiotics, I can't intermittent fast because I need to have my tablets, to have it in the morning, so I need to eat. So usually I do a 16-hour fasting window, and then I eat for 8 hours. Like I still eat whatever I want, I just make sure it's clean food. So I don't look at calories or anything like that. That works for me, right? It doesn't mean it's going to work for you. But the biggest piece of advice I can give you, which I felt worked for me, and I think is going to work for more or less, well, most people, is really kind of like trying to cut out the processed foods and sugars. Personally, I feel like, again, if you have some kind of like medical condition, then you need to listen to your doctor. I'm not a doctor at all. I just can speak to you about what I feel has worked for me. Just want to tell you something about sugar. Sugar in any form influences the formation of acne through your hormones and through inflammation. I personally think sugar is the enemy. I hate the things that it does to your body. I can feel it if I eat rubbish, and I have those times sometimes, you know, when I was really ill and I was going through my antibiotics. And by the way, I came off of those antibiotics, and then I got ill again, and this time it was like ear. So I had like issues with my balance, and then I had to go on. Now I'm on antibiotics again. So currently I'm not intermittent fasting. I'm eating as clean as I can, but I'm not kind of like getting rid of all the things that I know I usually would stop eating. And I can't wait to finish this so that I can get full on clean again. I'm just looking forward to that detox. So I feel like for me, it's more of that. I do it in periods where I feel like I need to detox, and where I feel like it's not, you know, I need to just loosen up a bit because I have maybe guests around, or I have a lot going on and I feel like I can't like stick to, it's going to be difficult because of going out a lot. Then I kind of eat what I want, but I just don't go crazy, you know? So for me, it's more seeing what fits in with my lifestyle. I don't fit my lifestyle around my diet. I fit my diet around my lifestyle, and I feel like that's become more of that happy medium place for me. Cutting sugar out or reducing the sugar in my diet, even just reducing it massively, has helped my skin so much. It triggers your hormones, inflammation. We all know how you can have hormonal acne. I suffered from it quite a while ago, and I felt like the only thing that helped was all of the tips I've discussed. But the biggest part was probably reducing processed foods and sugar, because there's so much sugar in even processed foods that is hidden, we don't even know about. Like, you just don't read the labels, you know, as much as we really should do. And even if we do, half the time we don't know what certain things mean. That's a big thing. I would really recommend that. Also, see, let me be honest. I very rarely do I have a fizzy drink. And I have to be honest that I started from a teenager, I cut fizzy drinks out. So I've just never been really like into fizzy drinks. I remember feeling like I really was when I was younger, and then I just kind of thought, this can't be. And this is before like media even made us very aware about, you know, what these things how these things are bad for us. And I just kind of thought, this can't be good for you. Like, I'm putting all this in my body, it can't be good for me. And I wish I looked at food that way at that point, but I clearly didn't. For some reason, I just focused on the drinks and that was it. But so I cut fizzy drinks. So I just drink water and I have a couple of coffees a day, and that's about it. I also try and keep my dairy to a minimum. I don't like to cut it out completely, because I feel like that can end up giving you an issue, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you can end up giving yourself, you know, if you completely cut out pasta, everything, I feel like you can end up getting IBS, because, you know, your body's just not used to it, and then when you do have it, it's like, whoa, what's going on? So I just feel like you don't need to cut everything out completely, but just, you know, if you want to have the bad stuff, have it in very minimal quantities, and only if you really have to, or in terms of like if you really need a treat. These things like this really does help your skin. Like, I know for the last few weeks, the first 2 weeks that I was on those antibiotics, I felt really, really unwell. I was full on sick mode, sitting on the sofa, feeling sorry for myself, crying. You know, the number of times I've cried over the last 4 weeks is unreal, because I felt so unwell, you know, and I just hate feeling like that, because I feel like I can't do anything. I don't feel good. And then on top of that, my diet, because I was just eating whatever because I needed the energy, even though it gave me the energy, it wasn't good energy. It didn't make me feel good. So I'm not intermittent fasting at the moment because I'm still on antibiotics, but you know, I saw that change in my skin. It just looked awful. I felt awful. Things like this make a massive difference for me. Going back many years, I would say reducing the sugar and realizing that just trying to think about what I put into my body really does help my skin, and really does kind of help to improve my skin. So that's a big thing for me. I would just say, and I've said many times to you throughout this video, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist. I am just good at what I do, and all I can do is give you the best advice that I feel I have learned from and that has helped me. It doesn't mean it's going to help you 100%, but hopefully if something resonates with you, or you feel that your lifestyle maybe is similar to mine, or your skin is similar to mine, if you feel like you're connecting with me, then you're probably going to like take away some of these tips and tricks and try them. I just want you guys to want to be real with you guys. I want to be completely transparent with you guys. So I really do hope that that kind of like helps. So I really do hope that this video has kind of like helped you. I really wanted to keep it transparent with you, be honest with you with like what has worked for me. I'm not going to come on here and give you any kind of miracle thing that's going to transform your skin. You are going to get real advice from me. You know, I'm a normal person. I'm like you. I have my own issues that I deal with. I have my own days that, you know, my skin doesn't feel great or I don't feel great. All I can do is tell you what works for me. And, you know, if you feel that it would work for you, then that's great. And hopefully, you know, it benefits you in some way. So I really do hope that you've enjoyed this. But wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you lots of love. And I really do hope that you have the most blessed day and super productive. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've taken away some good tips and tricks from it. Now, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.